And we are back with another disturbed reality video. I actually haven't done one of these in a while, but this one caught my attention like crazy. You know why? Because it said this is worse than what is it worse than? It's worse than Funky Town, bro. And Funky Town is one of the probably probably the craziest worst videos I've ever seen in my life. And if you've seen Funking Town, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't really have the stomach for this kind of stuff. I personally never had a problem with it, although I try to limit myself because I heard it could mess you up mentally, so I don't really watch them like that, to be honest with you. But this one, like I said, it caught my attention because it said it was worse than Funky Town, and I'm like, bro, like how does it get worse than that? Like, his these people were like, they're crazy, you know? But it's another Cartel video, and I'm starting the it's 25 minutes long, but I'm starting the video at 12 minutes. Basically throughout the whole 12 beginning of the video, the whole 12 minutes, he's just explaining the backstory kind of. Um Not even the backstory of this, kind of like that, but then just everything that's been going on in Mexico. I don't want to make the video too long, so if you guys do want to watch all that stuff, I'll leave the description to the video down below. I'll leave the link to the video in the description down below, and you guys can go check it out for yourself. Shout out to Disturb Reality. He says he's doing hella research on his videos, and I don't know if it's disrespectful that I'm not watching the first 12 minutes, but I just feel like people would rather just watch me just get straight to it instead of just listening to all that. You feel me? So, without further ado, let's get it. What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Um, let's get it popping.
We will potentially know more details in the coming days. Before we get into the video, I'd like to quote a tweet made by an account called All Source News, who
All
covers
source
organised
news.
crime. I feel this summarised the case extremely well. This latest execution video shows a level of sophistication that is outside the norm of cartel videos.
How's it?
Generally, what we see is just brute force to decapitate or dismember a body. This latest video shows a degree of training that demonstrates what these guys were doing.
Wait, he said it's outside the norm of normal cartel videos. And normal cartel videos aren't normal. Like those shits are insane. So how is this that bad that it's actually like making those things look normal? Like, and it's not. I don't know, bro. Let's see what he
But
has to say.
nevertheless,
Nevertheless,
what happens in the actual video? On the 22nd of June,
I'm scared.
2023, a shocking video made the rounds on social media, depicting one of the cruelest cartel executions ever caught on camera. The video
That's a big
shocked
statement,
users,
'cause there's a
with
lot.
many claiming it to be among the worst videos that they had ever
What the
witnessed.
fuck did they do to him?
Sadly,
Like, how?
clips of the video have flooded Twitter, so please be very careful of what you watch. I strongly recommend that you do not watch this video.
See, he says that, and then it makes me want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's probably like that for all you guys too. But I'll probably watch it on my own time, and I'll probably, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys will too. He said it's all over Twitter. I wouldn't know how to find it, and I wouldn't know where it's at because my Twitter's full of gaming stuff and just funny stuff, you know, not cartel execution.
The full version of the depraved video is 6 minutes and 30
6
seconds
minutes?
in length.
That's
The
not
video
normal.
is shot during nighttime in a desolate, desert-type location. You see the victim, who is blindfolded and has had his hands tied behind his back. He has also been forced to wear a t-shirt that spells La Linea, which is the faction he allegedly belonged to. The scene seems to be lit by vehicle headlights, and the victim is surrounded by multiple armed Cartel del Noreste sicarios, who are all wearing black tactical gear, carrying high-grade weapons. In the first 17 seconds of the video, one of the Sicarios reads out a brief statement which translates to the following. This message goes out to the Jaliscos, Cartel del Golfo, Cartel de Sinaloa, and especially the La Linea Cartel out of Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua. Keep sending more dumbasses like this individual, and this is how you will all end up. The state of Zacatecas is territory that belongs to Cartel del Noreste. As the statement is being read out, the person recording slowly moves closer to the victim. Another thing to note, as far as cartel videos go, the quality of footage is actually better than most, which makes the video that much more disturbing.
Yes, the normal cartel or the other cartel videos, it seems like they're recorded in like 360 or like 480p or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So if this one's in HD, that's insane, bro.
After the brief statement has been read out, the victim is forced to the ground, face down in the dirt. Multiple Sicarios pin him down by stepping on his back and pulling his arms back. He has been completely immobilized so that they can carry out an extremely depraved act of violence.
Wait,
The
so they broke
victim
his like shoulders
doesn't
type
make
shit?
a sound as he anticipates what is about to happen. After the victim has been restrained and pinned down, a Sicario, carrying what appears to be some kind of butcher's knife, then slices a vertical cut on the back of the victim's head. He does this as a starting point to flay and scalp the victim as he is still alive.
They
The blade is
scalped
razor
him?
sharp and looks flexible. After the initial cut, blood immediately begins to puddle on the dirt floor. And using the initial cut, the Sicario then slices under the victim's scalp and starts to remove it from the skull. As he cuts, he then pulls the skin back to ease the blade cutting underneath the scalp. After a few seconds, the back of the victim's head has been completely scalped. The Sicario, however, makes sure not to cut the skin off in chunks. Instead, he is attempting to complete the scalping and flaying in one clean go.
Wait, he said in the beginning of this, he said that they trained for this. So what did they train on? Like, it had to have been an animal, right? Like, there's no way. Like, bro, he scalped him. Like, what the?
After the skin on the back of the victim's head has been completely severed, the Sicario then moves to removing the skin and hair from the sides of the victim's head. In doing this, he also cuts off the victim's ears.
Bro,
The back
what?
of the victim's skull at this point looks like a red ball, with shades of white from the victim's skull also showing. The top of the victim's head is then scalped. The man is still alive, but somehow is yet to make a sound, let alone scream. The poor victim is then turned over onto his back. As this happens, you see the sheer amount of skin and scalp hanging from his
This
head.
is sick.
At one point, the hanging skin and scalp completely covers his face. After the victim has been turned over onto his back, a Sicario then puts his boot on his chest to stop him from moving. At this point, the victim, still conscious, utters his first words. Despite the intense pain in which he must have been going through, he simply tells the Sicario to stop standing on his chest in a calm manner. Potentially, the victim may have been dosed on some kind of sedative, as he doesn't scream once. Though, it could...
See, if you don't scream once during that, you had to have taken some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how. You know, I've seen in movies before. Like, if say the U.S. is somewhere, like the military, and they get kidnapped for whatever, and they take a pill, and then they just die, right? Like, so they don't give out no information, and you don't get tortured. Like, I wonder, why don't they do that? Do they just think they're never gonna get caught? Or maybe he did do that.
Be pure shock. When the victim is laying on his back, the Sicario then flays the skin off the victim's face. He pulls the skin that's already
Bro,
been flayed and then starts to cut down from the victim's forehead. As the blade slices under the skin, you hear a distinct tearing type sound.
Ugh.
After another 20 or so seconds, the Sicario
How do these guys not throw up doing this shit? Like, they have. I don't.
then completes the flaying.
Oh my god.
Though he realizes that he's missed a couple of pieces of skin on the victim's cheeks, and he goes back and proceeds to slice the remaining skin off.
So it's just straight skull? Like...
The victim's nose was also cut off during the flaying. What is left of the victim is a horrific sight. His head looks like a red skull,
I don't even want to see the
and
video.
due to the lack of skin, it makes his teeth and eyes even more prominent. The white of his teeth and eyes, contrasted with the pulp red, is terrifying to look at. The detached scalp and face is then placed on the victim's chest. The Sicario then finishes the victim off by cutting deep into the victim's throat, severing his windpipe, though he doesn't behead him. It appears that this finally kills the victim. The knife-wielding killer then cuts beneath the victim's chin, which essentially creates a cavity so that he can pull the victim's tongue through it.
What?
He then severs the tongue. Finally, the victim has his shirt removed, and the killer plunges the knife into his chest and cuts vertically, exposing all of his organs. The victim at this point has lost so much blood that this doesn't even cause bleeding. The maniac killer then reaches into the victim's now open chest, pulls the heart and cuts it out.
Bro, just stop. Like, why? Like, bro's dead. Like, this is insane. Like, they've had to have been training for, like, all right, let's see how we can make this more crazy than all the other times so people actually stop fucking with us. Like, what can we do? And then and they're doing this. Oh my god.
The heart is still beating
bro.
ferociously, and the killer simply holds it in his hand up to the camera. None of the Sicarios are talking as the camera fixates on the beating heart. The Sicario then kneels down and holds the heart in front of the now deceased victim's face.
Holy shit.
The last 2.5 minutes or so of the video is the Sicario holding the still beating heart in front of the camera in complete silence. Nobody talks. All you hear is the wind blowing in the background as they fixate on the heart until it finally stops beating, which is where the video finally ends.
Oh.
As mentioned, please do not search for this video.
Yeah, I'm not.
Just when you think you've seen it all,
Holy fuck.
a video like this emerges.
I'm gonna show this to my friend and actually have my friend watch it before I do because he, for some reason, likes shit like this.
I can't really summarize how bad this video is, but
It sounds
one
fucking
question
horrible.
that I get asked a lot on this channel is, why do you fixate on Cartel so much? And I always go back to the same statement. This is happening in real time to real people. This is happening right now.
This is how the world is.
And video
You can't sugarcoat this shit. Like, this is actually happening, bro. Like, it's not fucking a video game, bro. This is real life. Like, it's actually happening. We should all be blessed that we're not having to deal with this.
videos like this expose the extreme end of the violence surrounding the war on drugs and the drug trade in Latin America. And again, this is the extreme end, but so many innocent people get caught up in this, whether that be them being forcibly recruited, being kidnapped and extorted, killed in crossfires, etc. So many people are getting caught up in this, and not everybody is a willing participant. It's literally destroying hundreds of thousands of lives across the globe, because it isn't just isolated to Mexico, because obviously the drugs go somewhere, and these drugs end up in inner city areas in America and elsewhere, and they ruin people's lives, they destroy families. Ultimately, all the way from production of drugs to them reaching their final user, It's just a cycle of destruction, ultimately, and it's going on right now. Record overdose deaths in the USA due to fentanyl,
True.
etc.
True that.
Then there's the young kids stealing those drugs on the streets in America. Then there's what's happening in Mexico. It's just a cycle of violence, depravity, desperation. And yeah, it's literally affecting hundreds of thousands of people. Outside of official wars, is there a bigger issue right now? Certainly not in the West, I would say. It's terrible what is going on. And that's why I really fixate on drug cartels. But yeah, this video was hard to watch.
Holy shit.
People are going to compare this to Funky Town, V Guerrero flaying Ghost Rider. It's on that level. It's on that level. It's absolutely disgusting. And I really can't say much more than that. I really can't say much more than that.
You don't have to, man.
I hope you enjoyed the video. If you
See, my whole thing is like, I want to hit this guy up that makes these videos. I don't even know his name. I want to hit him up and ask, like, you straight, bro? Like, are these videos fucking with your head? Because he makes nothing but insane videos, no matter if it's the cartel, some places in Russia, some like insane fucking accidents, like, and he has almost 400,000 subscribers, so he's basically doing what works, you know. But at the end of the day, he's watching all these videos that he's talking about, so I wonder, like, how is his head doing, you know what I'm saying? But damn, do not watch this video. Obviously when we say that, you're gonna want to watch it, because I'll probably see it another day, but not right now. But god damn, that was crazy. Um, Comment down below what you guys want me to react to next. Yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. Subscribe for new, like this video if you enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.